All right. How are we going?
Good, very good. We've got our secret guest here.
He's not a secret.
It's a secret, Stu.
Who's the secret to?
Well, all of them, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Surprise.
Hi!
This is Mr. Bass
We have the Bass Man, Bassy, from Between You and Me,
That's me.
and Bukowski.
and Bukowski.
That's true.
How are ya?
I feel great. I feel great right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Got a bit of a buzz on. Had a couple of beers before
Haven't
we started
eaten,
this
had a
podcast.
beer. Feel great.
Feeling good.
Nice. So, if you don't know this man, that's unfortunate for you. He's a
Or
legend.
fortunate.
He's one of my best mates. I love him.
Yay. Well, nice.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
I am a person
That's true.
That-
Nice.
That is true.
knows you.
Yeah. we've discussed that part.
People like it when you reiterate the points so they remember it. I play in Between You and Me and Bukowski, and I love it. And that's not my whole life. I like eating food and drinking beers and watching TV shows.
Nice.
Nice.
So we met ages ago. We met in 2010. 2010 it would have been.
Yeah, yeah.
When
far from
you
here.
joined the band that I was in with Travi called The Spin Set.
Great band.
We have one of
Fucking
your
good
posters in
time.
the hallway right here.
There's a few memorabilia pieces up around the place.
That's where it all
You've got
started.
to pay
That's
homage.
where it all began.
It's the
Exactly.
roots.
Yeah.
Don't forget your roots.
That's right.
Yeah, so fucking I've known you for, nearly 10 years now.
Yeah.
It's been good.
10 good years.
Yeah.
10
But I guess
great years, you could say. And I think we're probably similar. I think Bassman, if we were
Yeah.
to count back our years.
Actually, we probably wouldn't have met that long after. We
Yeah.
would have
We
met
played
at
a
our
gig
first
together,
show.
didn't we?
Revs?
Yeah, Revs.
But you would have come to the first show I played at
What was
Prague.
No, he came to the Creatures EP launch with Zal. Remember they stole the slab
The
of...
curtain.
I came to another show though.
Slab the stole of Red Bull.
Bull?
Slab the stole.
Slab the stole, and then we swapped that slab of Red Bull for something else later in the night.
Did ya?
Yeah, we went.
Where?
Well, we kept drinking after it.
Yeah.
We went out somewhere and we had swapped those Red Bulls for something else. This story gets funnier. We should get Zal to finish this one.
Yeah, I don't remember you stealing that. I was just having so much fun.
I've got
That was a good
audio
show.
of that gig.
I did have that too, yeah.
I've got audio of that gig, and pretty much at the end of every song, you just hear Mudzal. Fucking hilarious.
Well, anyway, we do have a somewhat of a topic to chat about today.
Yeah,
Touring.
yeah.
touring. I think maybe we just discuss kind of, if you have never been on tour, kind of our experiences. We've all been touring. You've toured internationally. We've toured nationally.
Just got back from some pretty fucking sick shows as well, which we're going to talk about.
That was fun.
That's why he's got a cheeky smile on his face. Asshole.
Yeah, nice. So I guess I don't know, there's so many things about touring that kind of play into your life. I guess you kind of have to organize your life around touring if you're a musician a lot of the time. And we've we've been through things that we've had to sacrifice heaps of shit, tour is an amazing time. It's also a really fucking tiring time. It can be stressful if you're not organized, if the gigs aren't that good.
It's hugely stressful.
Yeah.
I'd say it's the sort of thing some people fucking love that mayhem, that
Thrive on it.
they thrive it. And for some people, it's just like, for them, they have to get through it.
I
They're
feel like
fuck.
it makes known to you how much you want to do music.
It's a good
Like
point.
your first tour, or you're just knowing you have to go away for shows and maybe miss work or something like that.
Yeah.
Miss people. It puts it in perspective for you. Like, can I get through this? Like, if this takes off and you're away for a month or 2 or 3 or fucking 6,
Yep.
Yeah.
can I
Yeah.
last?
Full
I'm
on.
down for it.
It makes or breaks a human.
Yeah.
And it makes or breaks a musician. It makes or breaks a band. Like on a personal level, if you, like we've said, if you have to sacrifice heaps of things, it shows where your priorities are. If you have good relationships with the people in your life and they understand what you want to do for a living, then it can work out okay.
for sure.
But it still takes a toll. Like,
Yeah,
no
it's still going to
doubt.
be annoying. You're still going to miss those people, even though they support you and you support them, and
Totally.
like they're going to miss you, and it's known.
Yep.
It's still going to be hard, but
Yeah. And yeah, keeping up the communication is key. Like remembering to touch base.
base.
don't go
everyone
5
in your
days
life.
without at least sending a text message.
Yeah. See, that's it. When
I think I've done that before. And then
that's-
you're just like, why are you angry?
See, I like that route. To me, it's like cool. As soon as we go, or as soon as you get in the plane, as soon as you leave, it's like
Work.
cool. Whoever's
At
not
work.
here, it's cool. If I get a spare moment or something, I'll touch base with it. If I don't, no news is good news. If you don't, I'll be when I'm back, you'll see me.
I'd say you're in the minority.
Let me save
though.
the stories for when I get back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'd say you're probably in the minority in that regard. Like,
It depends. I feel like if I
well,
was single,
it
it'd be
does
different.
depend.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
mum
a big one.
every couple of days, maybe
Yeah,
every week
just
or
check
so.
in.
Yeah.
Hey, you good? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's
Love
like,
ya.
it's kind of like being on a holiday, but it's not at the same time.
For me, very
Yeah.
much is like a work holiday.
Yeah, it is.
It,
Yep.
it never feels like work.
No, it doesn't.
The only time like it
Because
ever
you're doing
might
something that you love.
is if you bring it upon yourself and you get really fucked up one night and the next day is absolute hell. And you're just
But
like,
even
I don't
still,
want to do
you-
this. I just want to be in bed watching Netflix and eating pizza.
See, because then you've got everyone next to you. You're gonna get fucked up in the morning when you wake up. Like, it's just inevitable.
Actually, yeah, that's true. You can just have another beer because they're free and then just keep going.
You just keep going. Like, we were in the van going from Launceston to Brobart down in Tassie for a tour, and like
Great place to tour.
great
Mate.
Tassie, beautiful
I
scenery,
love
Oh,
Tassie.
great beer.
great cruise. Well, we had
people.
cruiser Saturday in the
People are
van.
interesting, man. Like, they're so
They're a different
isolated.
breed.
They are
They're
so
a different breed.
But it's like everyone knows each other. Absolutely everyone. Even
Or
if
if they
you're
don't,
from,
they know of someone who might.
whose
Yeah.
cousins,
Yeah.
was there.
And that's cool, but it's also kind of funny because some of them hate each other, but they still hang out together. I've only like done it once, but I've noticed like they're like, yeah, I fucking hate that guy. It's like in the same place. Funny as. Anyway. Yeah, go on.
But so we were, going to Brobart, and we had cruiser Saturday. So we had like 8 or 9 fucking lads with us. Zul being the father of the fucking band and tour that he was, he had to drive. And we'd bring stupid shit like a fucking TV screen and a PlayStation 2. Like, we had a power adapter that could run off the cigarette lighter. So we're in the back, we're just playing PS2, playing Tony Hawk's, like smashing cruisers, just getting fucking annihilated. We stop off at this
It's
town.
the best for the driver when everyone's
when
drunk.
everyone else is partying. From like
they really appreciate that.
from
yeah.
literally like lobby check at 9 a.m. till when you arrive at the next city, you're constantly drinking. And then we stopped off at this town to get like we're like, well, we'll get a pub lunch. We'll get something to eat. Stupid mistake. So there's now like 9 of us in this small little quaint Tasmanian countryside village, and there's a church there. And so Clacker, as people know here, Clacker being Clacker when he's 12 cruises deep, goes for an adventure. The church is open.
Yeah. Oh.
So he walks
There you
into
go.
this church, and there's a whole group of us, and we're like, he's gonna walk back out any minute. Like, there's gonna be a priest in there, and like, if he doesn't burst into flames when he works through the doors, like, he's gonna get asked to leave shortly after.
Yeah.
Like, 2 minutes go by, still doesn't come out. 5, 10 minutes go by, and he's still in there. We're like, what is going
He
on?
sparked up a conversation and
With some-
devoted his life to
So we're like,
Christianity.
Didn't go to,
okay, well, we've got to
confessional? Just in the confessional booth.
just the last
like,
night
He's like,
I've got a lot to tell you.
Father, I have sinned. I've had 12 cruises today.
today. And then, so we're like, fuck, we got to investigate. We go in, and it's just empty. So the whole church is there, completely unattended. Clacker is playing the fucking organ.
Oh.
Like, you look around, there's dudes like running across pews. People are up on like the stairs. Like, it was fucking mayhem. Like, some of the pictures from this thing are the funniest.
Everyone's like, we went on tour and destroyed a hotel room. You guys are like, we destroyed a fucking church.
Oh
It
my
was-
God.
Honestly, probably one of the funniest / like politically not correct things to do.
Yeah.
But my God, it was funny.
So good.
But anyway, I want to hear some more about your stories.
Our stories.
So first of all, where'd you just get back from? Tell us a bit about the shows. How many you played? Where were they?
We just got between you and me just got back from UK and a few shows in Europe. We played 2 shows in Germany, 1 show in France, and then 6 shows in the UK, I think. 2 of them being Slam Dunk, which is like a
For
sick
the
festival.
pop punk community,
Yeah,
it's like
probably
the
equivalent in
it's like-
Australia would be Soundwave, I feel like.
There isn't an
But
equivalent.
it's even more focused
But
though.
like, yeah, that's it's very honed in on like the heaviest bands were like
Architects
Knock
on it?
Loose.
Was it? No,
Knock Loose was probably, I feel like they were the
They're
heaviest.
fucking heavy.
Kubla Khan and Cage Existence, like a bunch of like heavy, like hardcore bands, and then
But primarily like Newfound Glory.
Bullet for My
and-
Valentine played as well.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
and the thing that struck me about that lineup was like the kind of length of it. Like it's literally every fucking band who's been big from like 10, 15 years ago till now.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
on one
That-
fucking
when
lineup.
we saw the
It was like
lineup-
my whole iPod from when I was fucking 18.
Yeah.
We got invited really late into the piece. Like it was announced last year, I think, late last year, and then we got like asked like 4 months out. We were like, "Fuck yes!" That's an
So all the
insane
bands had
festival.
been announced. Yeah, that's so good.
That is like every band I know. Every band on that list is on my Spotify playlist. Like you
Yep.
know what I mean. Like I've
They're
heard
big,
every
yeah.
band. Like it was a great time. But the tour was insane. Like playing the first time I've ever played in a non-English speaking country was awesome.
that would be
Played
so
Germany
shit.
and France and Germany they spoke a lot more English than in France. But in France, I was telling Stu before, a lot of our live show is us talking shit on stage, and in France we're like, will they understand us? Like, what are we going to say? So, like, we're touring with like a French Canadian band, like, just teach us some shit, like. And then they taught us all this stuff, and we didn't remember any of it. We got on stage, and all we could remember was, "Hi, my name is," or like, "My name is."
Je m'appelle?
Je m'appelle. That's all we remember.
Je m'appelle le table.
Are you a table? Yes.
All we remembered was Je m'appelle. So between songs, all we would say was, "My name is beer." My name is. Jake introduced us as "My name is between you and me." Like and like it went on. Like they liked it. They laughed. So it ended up being a good show. But like we were so worried because not really worried, but like what's going to happen? It could just bomb.
Yeah.
We could just play the songs and it'd be cool.
Everyone's like, why the fuck do they keep introducing themselves? Yeah.
But that was fun. Like, yeah,
that's good.
English speaking country. Slam Dunk was wild, like crazy experience. The 2 nights before we played London, we headlined in London. And that was insane. Like, we played there once before. So we like maybe a few people come out. The room was pretty packed. People were going
What
off.
was the
People were
capacity?
stage diving. I think it was like 300 cap. It was
Yeah.
close to capacity. It felt like it anyway. It felt like it was sold out. Like the crowd was that receptive. Like people were we like just stage dive, and then people just didn't stop stage diving. I stage dived while playing.
That's
Jake
so
stage dives as normal. Like people fucking, it was wild.
Yeah.
And then Slam Dunk was insane. That
Yep.
was just a dream. Like setting up, it was cool. There was like a few people at the stage. Were like,
Walk us through that from like start. So for like people who are kind of coming up or playing in a band or who haven't toured and played big festivals,
Yeah.
what's it like from like start rocking up, getting your passes to like the sound check? How does it roll on a fucking big level like that?
all right. So we pulled in the first day. We pulled in like 10 a.m. and you could roll in from like 7, but we pulled in about 10. Got our passes at the gate, and then we went and found a park. Just driving in, you just see like people that you shouldn't be associated with because you've only seen them through the TV.
Do video clips.
So we saw like Pierre from Simple Plan, and then Jake's like, "That's Simple Plan singer," and I was like, "Shut up, it's supposed to be here." There's like catering was insane. Like normally you get like you play a show, you get like 3 drink tickets, and we get like 3 meals a day. Sitting down, had breakfast, and I'm just eating breakfast, and then I look up and I see this pink hair, and I just look back down, and I'm just like, "That's Fat Mike." Like we're not supposed
So
to be.
sick.
Like,
Yeah.
Anyway, we get through that. We get told our call time to the stage. So we get called like an hour before you play to just be ready, and then
No sound check, just line check?
just line check. So what happens is there's the band goes on that's before you. There's 2 stages. So they're playing the left stage, and you play
okay,
the right
sweet.
stage. So it just like there's like a
Alternates.
minute changeover, and then the next band starts playing. So while they're playing, we're setting up line checking. Then we go back, like when everything's done, we're ready, do all our checks. Then we just hang out backstage pretty much until like a minute before we play. So yeah, we went out. there's maybe like 100 people, not even 100 people, maybe like 50 people just like hanging around. There's heaps of people watching the other band, but there's a few people like wanting to get barrier, which was sick. Like people wanted to be close.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, there's going to be maybe, I was like, maybe 100 people. That'll be sick. That'd be
Ideal.
come play a festival in the UK, 100 people watching you.
Good result.
Yeah, good
Yep.
result.
Yeah.
Go back and I'm like, I don't want to see. Like, if more people come, it'd be sick. If it's the same amount, that's fine. Like, I don't want to see what's happening. So we're just there drinking beers. Stage manager comes up. He goes, guys, ready? You need anything? We're like, no, fine. He's like, we're going in 10. I'm like, cool. And we're just hanging out. Go time comes. Like, he's like, you ready? Jamie plays the intro track. We run out and there's like 700 people. And I was just like, what the fuck? And Mitch was telling me, our photographer guy, he ran out with the camera because he follows us onto the stage. And he was watching everything. And then as he looked up, you can actually hear it in like the footage. He just goes, oh my God, what the fuck? Like, it was just like, we didn't expect any of it. Like,
Yeah.
even just being able to go over was
It's huge.
blessing. Like,
But I mean, you dudes are killing it. Like, the single you just dropped, Famous, is fucking sick.
Big song.
Like, you guys, you're doing it right. You're putting yourself in every position to play a good festival like that and have a good turnout from fans.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you fucking haven't released anything or you guys aren't active or the shows you play aren't fucking good. Like, the last one with Baker's Eddie was fucking dope. You guys hung around, fucking hung with the fans in the audience till it was fucking done, till we left.
Yep.
Like, they're all the little things you do.
Yeah.
And and it's sick that now you're playing fucking monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, I take that down to like when we were coming up in small bands and like seeing bands that we loved, they were doing that stuff. And
Yep.
if we got the opportunity to speak to someone from Newfound Glory or something like that,
Yep.
well, that's a funny, I got a funny story for you. Anyway, two actually. Like that'd be cool. Like if you could just say hi to them, like, and you saying hi to them first is big for them. But like if
for the kid,
if someone from
100%.
like, if Tom DeLong goes, hey man, did you enjoy the show? I'd be
Yeah.
like, yeah. Like, so like, and taking away like their doubt of like, oh, I don't want to go talk to him kind
Yep.
of thing. Like that's
Yep.
a big thing. Like, cause to me, I'm just me. Like I'm just a dude, like who gets to play a fucking cool festival
Yeah,
and
yeah.
shouldn't be there backstage that much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
A funny story though, when we played that first day at Slam Dunk, we got to like third last song in the set and we're playing and there's a break and Jake sings a line and we all come back in. And as he sings this line, we go to come back in, Jamie does the drum fill, hits the cymbals when we're supposed to come back in, no power on stage. And we're just like, what the fuck do we do? Everyone, and then, but the crowd sings the chorus, which is the last chorus of the song. And me and Jake, like, just like, well, there's no power and they're singing. Let's fucking sing along.
Oh, I
We
saw
jump
that
off-
video.
We jump off. Yeah, there's a video.
yeah,
and
yeah,
it was
yeah.
insane.
Sweet. So that was that.
Yeah, so what happened was the stage manager tripped over the mains power backstage.
No.
Pulled it out. Didn't know that he pulled it out. And good guy, I think.
Your
Monkey.
tour manager?
No. That's just like the Slam Dunk stage guy.
Okay.
The guy who manages the stage. He's like, oh, they're doing a sing-along part. That's sick. This is sick. This set's really cool. And he's like, this is gone for 20 seconds. How long are they doing this for? And then he turns around and sees the power. He's like, oh, fuck, I fucked this whole thing up. Plugs it back in, like apologizes later. Like, dude, that was the best thing that could have happened in our
No
set. Like,
shit.
700 people like singing along to our song is
Fucking
insane.
A.
You
That
love
was probably
those,
the biggest- the best-
accidents. Just somehow
turn
makes
into-
things
Somehow,
Yep.
and
you
like we
cannot
rolled with the
plan for that
punches.
sort of
Like,
shit. But
Yep.
now, do you think like that you would ever use a similar sort of thing in another show? Would you stop at that same place? Or
we actually talked about it, like, should we just stop tomorrow?
Yeah.
Should we just stop the song? But like we didn't. Maybe a different
Cool.
chorus. It worked for that one time.
yeah,
But we'll definitely use the idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
The
exactly.
idea
It
is-
sparks the idea.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
definitely.
Like there's definitely choruses where it could work.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And when done, like, because we've done this kind of analyzing and pulling apart live videos of bands for artist coaching, there's you watch some bands like the Hoods. Back in the day, they used to do it. I have to feel a lot better now, just because now they play stadiums. It's kind of hard to be that fucking interactive with fucking 80,000 cunts. But when they were playing,
But that's the trick though. Like if you
Yeah. If you can make
if you
it
can
into
make
arena,
80,000
yeah,
people
like
feel
that
like-
into Billy, like Green Day, he makes fucking
Yeah.
60,000 feel intimate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like he
Feels
does
like a club
it
show and a
fucking
club show
well.
feel like a stadium show.
Yeah. Like when you can do that, if you can do that, fuck, that's like your next level.
Yeah.
Throwing some fucking pyrotechnics.
I feel like the us stepping off the stage and at that time going down to the barrier made that same thing. Because at our live shows, we're not a big band. At the moment, we're playing like 300.
You're pretty
ribs.
big. You've been hitting the gym
Hey,
recently.
thank you. Yeah. I got no comeback for that. Anyway, it's a good one though. The people are there. Like your stages aren't. Sometimes you're playing floor shows and all that stuff. So like we're at that level, but then we had to like quickly adapt to that. And the fact that like we can still do that from the stage, but us getting down off the barrier, not knowing what to do at that point, put a thing in our head like maybe just go and approach the barrier more. The next the next song, I jumped off the barrier and crowd surfed while playing the song. I was just like, fuck it. Like,
Sick.
there's no difference between me and you. Like, I'm just lucky enough to play a song in front of you and you like that song.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a cool way of looking at it.
if I was watching any band that I loved and they came off the stage, like, it's a
You'd
cool
have that
experience.
exact
Like,
same
oh,
feeling.
and then you tell your friends, you're like that's like.
And I'm about to tell you about one of those times that I saw a band do that. So when I was in LA, I went to a festival. It's called Fuck Yeah Fest. It was so sick.
It's a dope name.
It was like Descendants, fucking Weaker Thans, like Simian Mobile Disco. It was huge. It was a big festival in like San Bernardino, which is about half an hour train trip from LA, from Hollywood. And yeah, I saw Kid Dynamite there, and there was like a reunion show, once off gig. And they did like maybe a small tour around it, I think. And like one of my bands like growing up, like that I just absolutely loved. And I was like, they were around for like 3 or 4 years in total, and they only released 2 albums. I was like resigned to the fact that I was never going to see this band again. So then when me and my friend were in America and we were looking up what gigs we could go to and stuff, and Kid Dynamite, I was like, man, 100% we're going. So we went and saw them. They played on a side stage, and there was probably like 200, 300 people watching. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. And the singer was like, I've got videos of it. He was just like, man, I'm just so amped and I'm just not used to festival shows. He's like, second or third song, and he's like, I'm just coming down. He like jumped down in front of the barrier and just stood in between the stage and the barrier for the rest of the set. He's like, I have to be close to people. I can't be on stage. I can't do that. It doesn't feel right for me. So he just spent the whole gig. Oh shit, sorry. Spent the whole gig in between the stage and the barrier, just like running up and down and just like singing with people in the crowd.
Yeah,
It's
sick.
so sick.
If you can do interaction without that, like, that's a good skill.
Yeah.
Like watching bands like Billy Joe, like not having to get off the stage, but they have a massive runway.
Oh,
like that's,
yeah.
But like he's just a king.
He can just, fucking oath.
Yeah.
And then even on that, what you were saying before, like hanging around and engaging with fans. One dude's J5, Jurassic 5 hip hop group.
Yep.
Been around for years. Like these are early fucking 90s that would have fucking started dropping stuff. One of the things that they did touring was every fucking show ever, like 20 plus years, they would hang around and sign autographs and take photos with anyone in the venue. They would be the last to leave the venue every fucking show. Yeah. It's like, and these dudes are known and respected for like their touring capabilities because they do shit like that. It's like they've never been
about the fans. It's not about them. It's not about wanting to have fun on tour. It's about what can we give back to the people that want to come and see us.
There's a band that we toured like that, a band called The Main, and every night they would just come like 10 minutes after they played, they'd like change their shirt or whatever, come out, and they would hang out. We'd be loading out. They'd be still hanging out with their fans, taking photos, just talking, like catching up because people come back to shows like, hey, we met this. Like, yeah, I remember. Like they remembered the fans. Like, and that's the thing that I think we took away from that is like, I might forget a lot of people, but I remember faces. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't remember your name, but we hung out the last time.
And a lot of times being upfront about this, like, hey man, sorry, I'm bad with names. Yeah. Like, fuck, dude, I meet a lot of people, but I remember you. I just forget your name.
It's so funny that you mentioned that because if you are a full-time band, that's your work, that's your job.
Yep.
So if you look at it that way, you know, it's fun. It's fun work. It's a fun job. It's like the best job in the world
to have.
It's the best in the world, but you can still think about it in that way. It's like, okay, you know, my set only goes for an hour, half an hour, whatever it goes for. But if I was at work, I'd be at work for an 8-hour day. Mm-hmm. You know, so why not while I'm on tour?
I don't get paid for 4 hours to drink beers at work though.
Yeah.
This is the thing.
And just talk to people.
Yeah. And totally. And that's the thing. Like if you think about it in that way, it's like I could be backstage. I could be going out and going to a club after, you know, whatever. I could be, or I could be giving back to the people that have spent their hard-earned money, sometimes money that they don't have.
Yep. These days, festivals do fucking payment plans, man. Dude, that's how pricey they're getting.
people in the US when we went last year that drove 2 hours and they saw us play one song because they got there late because the set times were posted wrong.
No shit.
Yeah.
And then they
See,
bought all the
you
merch
guys-
and we
you-
hung out with them.
You guys, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Send them out some fucking merch.
Well, they
Get
blew,
all
like,
of their home addresses. Once a year, just go, hey, fuck, dude, don't show anyone. Here's a fucking demo we got, and here's a
Yeah.
fucking free t-shirt.
It's all about just staying in contact with them. People message us. We're like, yeah, they're like, do you have new music? We're like, we're always working on new music. Like, we can give you rough times, but we don't know. But like, just having that, like, open communication with them. Like,
Yep.
even if it's like they message you on Facebook, like, hey, I really like your music. Thanks for doing it. Just writing back, thank you so much for supporting us.
Yep.
Means a lot to someone. Like, oh, they said thank you. Like,
Definitely.
they actually read it. Like, it's
Definitely.
crazy.
Yep.
Let's kind of discuss the good and bad things about tour. Like we've covered a couple of them, but let's talk about like the effects. If I guess kind of the point of this podcast for us is to be sharing our experiences and what we know, and our experiences with things that we've done, certain things that have happened in our lives, in our music careers, and how we can give back. That's kind of how I look at it. But if you have never toured before, what would you say are some things that you can expect from tour, good or bad?
Hotel checkouts.
Hotel, mate. You got hotels?
Fuck,
Yeah, I've
we had-
never stayed in a hotel. I was
we
crashed on
stayed in
people's
a
floor.
motel once.
Oh, man. so-
That was awesome.
that was,
Fuck, we
that
had
was a
a-
good and
we had
that was a
fucking-
good night.
we had
For
Mercedes
you, it was less
convertibles driving down to the fucking, to Wollongata.
one of my favorite
Cool
things
guy.
about
that
tour,
Canberra. Oh, you weren't on that gig. That was fun anyway.
one of my favorite things on tour is meeting new people, and you don't have a place to stay, and just staying at the show or at merch, like any chance someone could put us up because we don't want to sleep in our van tonight, like we'll sleep on your garage concrete floor, like, and then meeting new people that way, that's like
It's the best.
it's one of the coolest things I know.
Meeting the other bands is awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's one of my things that I love about tour. Like tour is expensive. It takes a lot of time. You're driving for hours. You're flying. You're spending money, whatever. But the meeting of people and just making new friends. And honestly, there's still people that like I talk to on a regular basis from interstate and like and just making new friends. Like you wouldn't have met Mitch, who takes photos and videos for you guys
If I
now
didn't come on tour
if
with
you
you
didn't
guys.
go on tour.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing. It's just like you're and this is the problem with a lot of music scenes is that the bands don't interact the way that they could. And, that's the best thing that I can get out of tour is hanging out with other bands and, just drawing from each other's experience and making friends. Like that
Even-
Playbook tour that you came on was
I've
the
stayed-
absolute best tour, like one of the best things I've ever done. And that party that we had at the end of it where all of the bands just hung out, like...
Everyone on that
Just
tour,
the
like I've
best
stayed
time.
at people's houses interstate, like because of that tour. Like that, the only reason I've been able to go and stay and not pay for accommodation is because of one tour I decided to go drink beers on with these guys.
He was our party manager.
Like you can come in the van, but
That was
just
the
get to
best.
Brisbane. I was like, yeah, all right.
You're our party manager. It was a fucking
That's a pretty
that was
good deal.
The best.
I ended up-
For
I ended
9 out of 11 shows, I think you were
Yeah.
our party manager. It was
And
the
then
best.
one show, like Saddies couldn't play because their singer was out, and I was just like, give me the lyrics. I'll
Yeah,
follow.
I remember that.
It was like it's just
It was
it's like-
Bassalites.
Like the best thing about tour is
And then you met
having a
Benji.
good time. Like
Yeah.
That's how you met
yeah,
Benji.
that's how I met, and that's how Bukowski started pretty much.
There you go.
Yeah, so like the best thing about tour is meeting new people. I feel obviously playing shows, but like if you're a young band, like and you are just starting out, and you go and you find another local band from Sydney, and you say, hey, we want to come and play a show.
Yeah,
you
tour
guys
for
you
tour.
guys want to put on a show, and we can support you guys, and then vice versa, we can bring you guys down. Like in a month or so, and we can play a show and hang out. You guys can stay at our house, we can stay at your house, something like that.
Yep.
And then they put on 2 other bands on that show. You get to meet 2 other bands, that say every band has 4 people. You make 16 new friends in one
Yeah.
hit.
See, that's
They make 16 new friends when they come down. The next time they're in town, they might not be playing with you, but they can crash at your house. You can crash at their house. They might know someone who they'll introduce your band to. You might know
You
someone.
just absolutely
You just-
never know. You
yeah.
could make the best friend of your life.
And that's pretty much
yeah.
how I got to where I am.
Yeah.
Like
which is funny you should say that because you guys is like that genre of band genre do that well. In hip hop, touring isn't like that. Like it's not like if you go to another hip hop artist, I think there's just a lot more
bravado.
Yeah. There's a lot more of like, if I was a Sydney artist
Self-preservation.
and you're the Melbourne artist and you hit me up, you're like, hey man, do you want to put up a show? A lot of the times it's usually like, why the fuck should I organise a show? You organise a show. You want to play it? It's like kind of that standoffish. No, it's
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
It's not like ego, like I'm better than you, but it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I see you.
Why should I help you
Yeah.
with all my hard work kind of thing?
Correct. It's very much like, I see you want to come up and play Sydney because I've got fans up here. You
There's
organise it.
definitely bands like that in the scene.
They-
For
but
sure.
they
But
just
like you
don't
got to find the
progress.
band. You just got to keep messaging people. Like it's not going to be the first band you message. Some bands will
That's
be
true.
like, why am I going to help a little shitty band from Melbourne play a show? But that's how I met. The first time we went to Sydney, Stand Atlantic, before they were Stand Atlantic,
Yeah, what it's worth.
played a show with the Spin Set. And me and Bonnie are still good friends, and now we're signed to the same label. Like the world is a fucking weird place. You just got to find the right people.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Just comes back around.
Yeah.
It's just like in these weird ways that you can't, and at the time that it happens, you never know that that's happening either.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, and we like had a,
It's not going to be a clear, identified path. Like you meet this person and you'll be playing Slam
Yep.
Dunk Festival. I've been playing in bands since I was like 16. And
Yep.
the first time I saw any movement was when we joined, like started, like we're in the band
Spin Set,
together.
yeah.
And then I was like, oh, maybe this is like something.
Something
and
that
then
you can actually
And then
do.
fucking like 8 years after that,
Yep.
I was like at Slam Dunk, just thinking,
How-
holding a bass, looking at the bass, going, the only reason I'm here is because a guy in high school said bass was for girls. So I was like, fuck you. Then my girlfriend at the time found this ad that said pop punk band looking for a bassist.
Yep.
Met Stu, played shows with this other guy.
I
Jai was in that
coined
band.
the name Bassy.
You did?
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
well,
you very
and just
much.
even for those watching, I only found out earlier today his last name isn't actually Bass. So just to clarify,
He was like, call me James. I'm like, fuck, that's a boring name. Like,
you should have seen what I
so
put.
now everyone knows him as Bassy.
He gave us was very nice enough to give us a testimonial.
Yeah.
You should have seen what the original name was. It was James. What was it?
I don't know what you put it.
I think it was like James Bass. James Bassy.
James Bass Bassy.
James Bassy Bass. But even getting back to that point, I think you're so fucking right, man. A lot of people look for this fucking path of they're like, oh, I need to meet this person, and then that's going to open this door, and it just doesn't.
If I give my
fucking-
demo to this person.
Yep.
This.
Yeah,
I've
and you
been down that
bank
path. We
everything.
went to a show, Goldfinger,
Yeah,
Real
Zebrahead.
Big Fish, Zebrahead.
Well, you going to the strip
Okay.
isn't going to a
I
show.
threw-
Stu almost killed John Feldman. Oh
Threw a
man,
CD.
the whole crowd
Swung past
is
his head.
like, oh, I'll throw a CD
No, it
on
was
stage,
Zebrahead.
I'll pick it up.
It was Zebrahead.
No, it was John Feldman.
I
I've
did
got
that.
this video of it.
No,
And then it
Goldfinger-
almost hit Ali in the head.
you threw
No.
two because I remember one went up and it went up like a boomerang, straight up. And then it came down the back of his head. And it was definitely John Feldman because Mark Herrera was on
Oh,
stage.
yeah.
I remember because Mark Herrera was playing bass.
No, because we gave John Feldman one after the set when he was hanging out at the merch desk.
I gave one to Mark Herrera as well.
But the funny thing, there's video of Zebrahead playing
But
that
didn't
set.
work. Like that band wasn't the one, you know what I mean? Like
And
Correct.
And like there's footage of Ali from Zebrahead going, whoa! It almost hits him in the head. It's fucking funny. Yeah,
But
I
it's
threw
even
it a bit too hard, probably. Anyway.
got a little excited on the brewskis, did you? But even like saying that, telling your story, like I look back in the path for like me to get here, and all of it's like crazy. It's like there was a job up like working on the turbines, which I was super fucking comfortable in, that I loved, paid fucking well. Like it took fucking getting fired from that and fucking like going through this car crash and ended up back in fucking Melbourne, that I even linked up with Zul, who I didn't fucking know. I was drinking beers at a pub down the road. I started DJing in South Australia. These dudes just happened to be talking. They're like, we're two MCs, we're looking for a DJ. I'm like, I don't have a job anymore. I got fucking time, and I've started DJing. He just happened to live fucking, a street away from me. And for like 3 years, we were just joined at the hip. And it was like, it takes all this, like almost getting pulled off the path so far to find the path.
Yeah.
But a lot of people miss those opportunities because they're so stuck on, oh man, no, I've got to do this, and this is the path, this is how it is. When it's, it's fucking funny looking back, connecting the dots of how you get to where you get to.
Yeah.
Just being open to shit.
And I can probably say that every single person that has gotten to where they are is either due to hard work or coincidence. They're probably like and combination of both.
Yeah,
I
and
know
the
people in
combination.
Both
Yeah.
Yep,
paths as well,
100%. Opportunity is just hard work meets preparation.
Yeah.
Put yourself in the right position for long enough, and fuck, that dude
Yeah.
who's playing on stage is going to see that CD, or his tour manager is going to be bored the next day, and fucking he's still going to have that CD in his backpack, and they put
Well, I
it in the
remember
tour van.
how Chris Rowe from the Ataris, how the Ataris got signed to their label was the bassist from from the Vandals. Joe, he owned a label called Nitro Records. No, that was Dexter's. Anyway, he took a demo CD of the Ataris and just gave it to Joe from the
It
Vandals.
could definitely be that easy, and
It can be that easy, and that
Definitely
might
take-
be the path
Yeah.
that. And you might go, I'm going to give this person a demo, and they're going to sign me, and it might work, but it's
not
just so
discounting how good the songs were on that demo, because he would have put that CD and gone, "Holy shit, we need to sign this band and
Yeah,
put this
exactly.
record out right now."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like, there's still hard work in any, like hard work. Luck is the product of hard work.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
you can work as hard as you can,
Yep.
as hard as you can, and eventually someone will see. Someone will definitely see.
And I think the
even if you if
Yeah,
you
no, go.
like stop writing music, you could release like an album, and then it can be found like
10 years
10
later.
years later, and someone's like,
These
"How did
days
no one know about
especially.
this?"
Bad man,
especially
Yep.
with digital distribution these days.
Yeah.
What I was going to say on that is like the hard work is where you learn things though, and that's not to be discounted as well. Like all of the times that you're working your ass off, like there's video footage of me and you sitting at Trav's house burning CDs of spin set demos because we were like, we're not paying for anything just yet. They're just demos. We want people to hear these songs. They're not that good. Well, they're not that polished.
But we really
think
like
they're
them.
good enough.
Yeah.
People might like these. Let's burn 100, 200 demo CDs. And we just gave them out at shows.
And we also went
that's-
to like the city and just handed them out in Berkshire
Correct. And that's
Sick.
but that's learning though. We're learning
Yeah.
at that time that hard work pays off for something else. And if we didn't do that, we might not be where we are now. So the hard work is where all the learning happens. And
Oh, definitely. And it also just teaches you that little bit about yourself. There's like, fuck you, I can fucking find that gear when I need to. Like, if I need to go out in public and hand my shit out to randoms to get me to where I want to be, I know I've got it within me.
I remember walking through Burke Street Mall and seeing this chick playing guitar. Like one person playing guitar, drum tracks playing. She like programs everything, then sings her song and then keeps going. And I'm like, this chick's incredible. Like, surely she's signed.
yeah.
I know where this is
Go
going.
on
Yeah,
Facebook
so do I.
and I see her page and I'm like, 3,000 likes? I'm like, surely not. Like,
Yeah.
5 months later, Tash Sultana
Yeah.
blows up on the radio. And I'm just like,
I knew it.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, she just kept grinding and grinding and
Yeah.
grinding. And like,
Yep.
eventually, like, people see the talent. If it takes like 10 years, it takes 10 years. Like,
Yep,
there's
definitely.
no path. But like,
And her aunt, Samantha's come through here a fair bit, and
Yeah.
she'll tell you about that journey and everything like that. And exactly like that. She's fucking blown. And look at her now. She's huge. She has
Yeah.
a billboard in fucking Times Square in New York.
sold
Like,
out Margaret Court, I'm pretty sure, like 3 times.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sold that Sydney
in one
Mire.
tour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know like there's so many stories of that. The bands that have, I remember hearing back, Good Charlotte were a band for 5 years before they even released their first album. Like, and their first demo was Little Things. And that was on their first album. And they'd been a band for 5 years before that song. Like
That
you know,
NFL
you have
Madden
to-
game
you have
cracked
to
them
work.
big time, I reckon.
did.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
it
different
helped,
now.
but-
Like, for sure, you can get found or like chucked on a playlist and people find out about you. It's definitely a different ballgame, but still hard work is there. Like, for a band, like, touring, like, is essential, I think, still.
It's good for relationship building. The thing that, I think we can probably go into this a little
Yeah,
bit
let's-
more
let's
is
get-
like what touring is good for, because there's a lot of things that you can do these days that you weren't able to do 5-10 years ago that touring allowed you to do that these days isn't as necessary because of YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and all that sort of stuff that
Like now you can legally buy your weed in LA. You don't have to get your security or tour manager to get it for you.
Yeah, exactly. You just need to go to the fake doctor in the computer. And
Yeah.
he'll
You
give
just need to go down to your local dispensary.
Anyway.
Getting back to it.
Touring is good for drugs, they say.
yeah,
I don't do
for
drugs.
some people.
Nah, because drugs are bad.
What like these days, obviously the networking is probably the most important part about touring is meeting people, learning things about yourself, learning things about your band. They're all the positives. Obviously the negatives in my eyes are spending a lot of money. If you haven't planned for tour correctly, then you're going to lose money. Like, even if you have planned properly, you're going to lose money.
I would bank on losing money all the time.
Yep.
Like, if you think about going into touring and think you're going to make money, you're not going to like touring.
No.
Ever.
But it's, yeah, and again, that's
Still not making
I
money.
look at that as
Still not making any money
misusing.
from touring.
No way.
Yeah, misusing what it is. Like
Yeah.
touring, these are, although prices and shit have gone up, touring
marketing.
isn't there
Even-
to
yeah.
make you your money. That generates
marketing.
awareness that you use for other stuff,
Yeah.
and you're clever about it.
Until you get to a certain point, for sure. Like, Nickelback are definitely making money off
well,
that.
not in the
100%.
UK, they're not.
Really? Not in the UK? I feel like they're pretty massive.
didn't the internet ban them or put in?
Yeah, somewhere. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. But yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely a point where, like, in the 80s, touring was a big money-making way to make money, especially, like, after selling records. Like, but it's definitely building awareness. Like, you put two bands on a tour. Blink-182, Lil Wayne, Neck Deep's about to happen in somewhere in the US.
Yep.
Neck Deep. Lil Wayne fans never heard of Neck Deep.
Yep.
Probably. Most likely.
Correct.
Some of them probably have never heard of Blink-182.
Someone probably never heard of Blink-182.
Some of them.
But cross those crowds, say, what, 20, 30,000 people going to that
Yeah,
that
a
tour, right?
percentage of
No,
people.
Maybe.
Yep.
Even if it's like 5,000, whatever. 10% of that crowd will at least check out all the like the other two
Correct.
bands.
Yep. But
Yeah.
see, I reckon. No, you're 100% right. I reckon we're only just starting to touch on the time where that happens, though. Like, where different crowds of different genres are happy to kind of assimilate with a varied bill. And I
sure.
think even Travis Barker ties in through all of that.
sure.
Like, when Travis started drumming on hip hop tracks and he kind of tied this whole big fucking whack genres together.
For sure. But I definitely, sorry. Are you,
But then what I was going to say is these days, I think just because of how the industry's changed and how we engage and consume music is different, these days a lot of people are used to putting on a playlist and you can go, like you just put on, if I put on a playlist, well, I'm fucked up, so I listen to the same shit. But most
Listen
people...
to fucking story so far.
Shut up, Stu.
I've heard you had one song at the gym for like
Yeah,
a
it's
month.
your track. But these days, through playlists and Spotify, people are very used to genre hopping, whereas they weren't that comfortable, say, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Like punks would listen to punk shit, hip hop would in their circles. There's very much those clicks. Now, through Spotify's and just the internet, people are happy going from pop to, oh man, here's some UK, to here's some pop punk. Like,
sure.
they're used to it being not just defined by one genre.
Yeah, but-
And I think now that's crossing over into crowds of that size are
Yeah.
happy to see varied builds. And then they're like, oh, why the fuck would I see Lil Wayne when Blink is playing it? Where it's like, now they're like, okay, cool, I get it. There's different bands playing together. Sweet. This is now a thing.
For sure.
A lot of people,
I
they're
definitely like breaking it down even smaller than that. Like back to what we said before. Like you bring a band to like from Sydney to Melbourne. Like your fans see them. They take you to Sydney. Their fans see you. 10% of that crowd might check you out. Like
Yep.
more than likely. The only reason we went to the US last year is because the guitarist in the headlining band liked our record. And he told his booking agents, like, I want that band on that tour because I want to hear that record every night.
No shit. There you go.
Like, no other reason. He's just like, I want to hear
Dope.
I want to hear those songs. And it's a band that we all loved. Like, it was insane for us. Like,
Sick. And then the bottom line behind all that is your product's got to be good.
yeah.
Like, you can do all the other little bits in place. Then if your fucking product is good, like...
There's definitely times when it's not good and you can still go into it. But
Definitely.
Yeah.
And the less... I
There's
was having
still
this-
benefits from it.
Yeah, I was having this chat with someone recently. Like, he was like, at the end of the day, just write a fucking good track. Like, if you write a genuine good track, you know that fucking changes
said than
people.
done.
Correct, easier said than done.
Yes.
But it's like if you have that gold track, all the marketing, PR, tour, everything else can kind of not fall behind, but it doesn't have to be as on point as if the track's lacking a little bit.
Yes.
Like some of the hip hop we used to make, DIY, it was just fun party hip hop. We didn't have a message. We weren't preaching anything. It was like house party fun shit. But because we didn't really speak about anything and we weren't pulling on any emotional strings and shit, it was just good times. Then all of a sudden you've got to make sure, have your cover art on point, your socials have to be on point, your media, your rollout's got to be there because there almost isn't quite this substance with the fucking tracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is, that balance game. And again, so if you guys have a fucking album that someone hits and they like, and I mean, I listen to shit and repeat, so it's like, it makes it easier for yourselves to put in a position where you're going to fucking win out of.
Yeah.
If you get what I'm saying.
Sure. One thing you have to be prepared for about touring is when you're jamming with your band at home, you may not be as close as you think you are.
Oh, yeah.
But touring will definitely bring make you closer or make you hate each other.
I think it'll expose things.
Yeah, 100%.
It'll expose underlying cracks, and if you guys can,
Work past it.
yep, communicate,
Embrace each other.
embrace it for what
If
it
you
is.
can handle me at my worst,
you
you
do.
deserve me at my best. That saying comes true on tour.
But it's funny though, because I think you see the extremes of everyone, and it's like going on a holiday with someone that you've never been on a holiday with. You know, you're in close quarters with them. You fucking smell, hear all of the like things that you
definitely
wouldn't
smell.
have before.
You definitely smell, hear, and see things that you didn't think.
Yeah.
100%.
I have been naked more times around my band, I think, than my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yeah. And if you're cool with it, then it's fine. But if you're someone that, you know, I would say if you're someone that even it's so broad but gets offended easily, then you're probably not going to have a good time on tour. I don't know. I feel like tours somewhere that you let your hair down.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of learn things about people that you didn't expect might come out of their mouth or.
But you still need
You know.
to like respect your bandmates and all that. Like, because you could still do that stuff maybe when they're not in the room.
Totally.
Like, if someone gets really annoyed when you, I don't know, speak about something or do some certain activity, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you still need to respect you because you guys are stuck in the van for 5 of you are stuck in the van for a week, a month, a weekend, whatever. And
Yeah.
if you can't
Yep.
if you can't like take that for a weekend or they've said to you like, maybe can you please not do that while I'm around? Like,
Yeah, you've
I don't
got to-
care
you've
about
got to
it.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, "Oh man, dude, I don't like smoking pot," and then you're constantly blazing joints in the fucking van behind like something
In their face.
Yeah, it's gonna be like yeah. You can be.
You don't like it?
You don't like it? Well, you're in tour with me, so you're gonna deal with it. So
You'll go
you-
to sleep.
You
All
don't
right,
have
we'll
to
put you to
advertise it or push people's buttons, but I think it definitely does expose it. And back to what Stu was saying before the podcast, like the more clear and good communication you guys have with each other,
Yeah.
a lot of the stupid bullshit, which a lot of the arguments kind of do get around because you're fucking tired and some cunt's fucking yelling at the sound dude because last night went shit and now he's trying to organize tonight and then this dude's fucking angry because he hasn't spoken to this person. Like there's all these different weird threads going out. That if you can just communicate through that and separate the
You
bullshit
just have to be
from,
able to
from like, dude, this
have
is
that
why
awareness.
I'm fucking
Yeah,
upset.
it's
Yeah,
better
totally.
than holding it in for however long you can and then just exploding.
Yep.
Yep,
And especially
for sure.
on tour because there's usually fucking drugs and alcohol involved. At least alcohol, like a lot of bands fucking will
Alcohol's
drink.
the first thing you get for free as well.
Yeah, exactly. Like even just a touring band, it's the first thing they're going to give you.
Yeah.
So if you do have those underlying communication issues or, it's just going to
you
expose
have
it.
to have self-awareness enough to be like, this is how I'm feeling, but this is why I'm feeling it. Like, you know, if you can't have the knowledge that, I haven't slept for, 20 hours and that's why I'm pissed. If you don't have that self-awareness, then you need to work on that. That's something that you need to be able to go, okay, I know that I'm not going to be able to get the sleep that I normally would. I know I'm not going to sleep in a comfy bed. I know I'm going to be around stinky people that talk too much and piss me off, but they're my mates. So I think you made a good point. There's a back and forth because you have to be able to willing to put up with people doing annoying shit. But at the same time, the people that are doing the annoying shit have to be able to know what the limit is and know when to not step over those boundaries because what they're doing is one, showing a lack of respect, but also they're potentially causing worse issues by pushing those boundaries and being an annoying cunt. Like, so there's a
good,
balance.
very good.
There's a
Definitely.
balance,
And even as you were saying that, I think a comparison that drew to me is it's like any good relationship, whether it's a fucking friend, platonic, with a partner, like it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And as soon as that two-way street is out of balance, as soon as someone else feels like they're giving more than they're receiving, like it's like if I was to call Stu a cunt, it's like, oh, cool. He probably isn't going to get offended because he'd know if when he needs it, whenever's going down, like I'm going to have his back. So calling him a cunt superficially probably isn't a big deal. If there comes a point where it's like, oh man, I consistently see you not having my back when I need it, and you don't have my interests out, then it's not a two-way street.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's when that imbalance
And we've talked
boosting
about
out.
it as well. Being late to things
Yeah,
is
man.
a big deal.
And
and it's such a seemingly small thing that
And it kills me.
Yeah.
Even on the fucking, I'm just going to jump in, even on the fucking show, the little Mosey show on the weekend, the support acts, dudes who came through here were late. They rocked up like fucking 20 minutes before their set. Like, not sound check, like before their set. And I was sitting there with their managers as they were waiting for them and their phones are off. And I'm just like, I was like, I feel for you guys because I'm in this.
But they're not going to make it.
Correct. And then it's like.
Unless they learn another way. Unless
Like
they're
being
enough.
late in an industry when it takes nothing to be on time, and that thing is so crucial because all it does is it tells that other person so fucking clearly. It goes, I value my time more than yours.
Yeah.
Why should I tell you if I'm late? You're going to wait there. You're going to be. Why should I tell my tour manager if I'm late? You're going to be at soundcheck anyway, dude. You can't sell tickets without me. It's like, guess what? You're going to get left behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burning bridges.
Because there's 5 of you or however many, if it's 2 pieces, even if it's one artist, their manager's waiting on them. Like,
Sound
you
tech.
need to appreciate everyone in your team, especially your fans. Like, if you're late, like you said, if your manager's waiting for you and people, like promoters, asking him, where the hell is this guy I'm paying $150 for, even if it's $150, even if it's I'm giving free drinks and
Regardless,
accommodation
yeah.
for the guy who's staying at my house. Like, why isn't this band here?
Yeah.
They just said they were going down to the pub for a few drinks. Like, if you don't appreciate that, that word's going to travel and be like, don't book this band.
Hugely.
Don't book this band. Like, they don't give a fuck about you.
Yep.
Yep. Word like that spreads so quickly.
Yeah.
And it's a really simple thing, but it's such a it has such a profound effect.
Yep.
Like the small thing that you think is small is not. And that's the lack of awareness.
It's probably that because it's like the similar thought that every other band has thought that's like, oh, that's just a small thing. When like I'd even look at it, do all the little things that you think are unimportant, the little thing, do all of them right, and because most bands fuck them up, you're gonna look super good. Like if you are early to every sound check and all your fucking shit's good, and you always have new batteries for your mics, or you bring your own wireless mics,
You know how to set your stuff up.
you know how to do all the shit, and then you
makes
respond
such
to
a
your
difference.
emails, and then you're proactive. So
And you care about the sound guy.
yeah, and you tell him, and you go, fuck, dude, like.
Same thing. Actually, we played. Sorry, to cut you
No,
off.
you're
we
good.
played a show in when we were in the States. We played a show in Brooklyn.
love
This is a
Brooklyn.
hilarious story.
I
Brooklyn.
love Brooklyn.
The sound guy is setting us up. Takes about 45 minutes after the main, like 2 headliners are doing the sound check. And for some reason, he has to repatch the talkback mic. And it takes him 45 minutes.
Wow.
And then he gets it done. And then he's like, all right, I'm going to come down and set the stage up. Has like micing stuff up. And then he's talking to me. Nice guy. Reeks of Jack Daniels or some kind of whiskey.
Yeah.
And we're just like, man, like, we're not the headliners. Like, I don't really care, but like,
Yeah.
as long as I get a line check, like, the show will be fine. Like,
yeah.
And like, after that, he's just like, all right, just play a song. Played a song. And he's like, all right, sounds good. We didn't even check anything. He just said, play a song. We played a song. He's like, does it sound all right? And we're like, oh, can we get some more? And the fallback is like, all right, I got to go. And fucked off. And we're just like, went to the tour manager and we're like, man, I'm pretty sure that guy doesn't know like what he's doing. Like, so they ended up sending the venue, sent that guy home. And then the touring sound guy from one of the other bands just saved our asses. Like, literally went on like 5 minutes before we played. He's just like, this is a mess. I have to quickly repatch everything because he was doing the headline band sound and he was going to do everyone else's sound. He's just like, I'm going to put it where I had it and we'll just run because we're using the same backline.
Cool.
And
Why
he's
would
like,
the
that's,
sound guy
and
repatch
at the
Blows
end
my
of our
mind.
set, like before we played our last song, I'm like, dude, that guy, like, just thanked him through the mic. Like, that guy saved out this whole show tonight. Like, buy him a drink if you see him. Like, and he just said to me, that's the first time anyone's ever thanked me
No
for doing
shit.
sound. And I was just like, why?
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Like the sound guy is, if there's no sound guy, there's no show.
There's a
Like,
funny
there is no show.
there's a funny
Unless
analogy.
But the
you're
whole music
because there's going to be a
The
sound
whole
guy.
music,
Someone will
industry,
put their
the
hand
whole
up.
music industry is like that though.
Yeah.
Like,
There's this
bands are
thing
just
that
the
comes to
front
my
of it.
mind. The thing that comes to my mind is anyone that you work with, if they're a dick, the worst thing that you can do is be a dick back to them.
Yeah.
You should kill them with kindness with the chance that they're going to be like, oh, they're actually nice. I'm going to do a good job for them.
Yeah.
Because you being a dick back to them is only going to make them more of a dick.
Yeah,
So it's
stalemate.
like,
You're gonna have a dick
even
off.
if your sound guy's an asshole, like they're a jaded old fuck, who cares? Like they're going to be like, oh, why am I doing this today? Like when we used to play at the Barleycorn back in the day, that sound guy was the biggest piece of shit ever. And like, we gave it back to him because we're playing in front of 5 people, so we didn't give a fuck. Yeah. But, you know, anyone that is like, you know, jaded and just is sick of their life and just hates being where they are, it's like, how about you just like be a super nice person to them, and that might change their opinion for that one night that they're doing their job.
Yeah.
You know.
And hey, even if it doesn't, you still haven't been a dick.
Correct. And that guy won't think bad of you.
The one thank you might be like, oh yeah, that bass is a little bit too loud. I'll bring that down.
That's it. Yeah, exactly.
And you never, like, it could be that while that, you know, the dude in the room who knows that this sound dude is super jaded and everyone fucking hates him, and they just happen to overhear how nice you treated him and everything was fine.
Yep.
And then when he gets a call in 3 weeks going, hey man, we need a support, do you know any bands? You're just going to be the first one he calls. Like,
we had this
that
really
shit
nice
happens.
band through the other week.
Yeah.
Just chuck them on, give them another show.
Like, that's how shit really happens.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Like, the word of mouth is probably the best way someone can hear about your band.
100%. And
if
even if you go into
if someone
online,
outside the band is vouching for your band, you've done something right.
correct, 100%. And even if you take that into online kind of marketing strategies, sharing something from your personal page is just online word of mouth.
Yeah.
Word of mouth is and will always be the king.
Yeah.
Because it's showing someone's going to vouch
Respect.
for you. And if you trust that person, you trust what they have to say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's how you make friends on tour. Like,
Yeah.
you just if you
it up.
rock up, and even if your songs aren't that good, and the band the band you're supporting or the band that you're playing with sees that you love what you're doing, like, and you're nice to them, like, you're like, those guys are sick. Those guys are sick. Like, great people to have beers with, good to hang out with. Their songs aren't that good, but like, they're not bad musicians.
Yeah, but that could be the start of their journey as well.
they can like, they bring like their friends and their friends have fun. Like, it's a fun show.
Yep.
And we just want to play fun shows.
Yep.
Like, let's just get them for another show. It'd be wild.
Yep.
Positivity is infectious.
Yeah.
And even now, I think this one's probably gone on a little bit. Should we tie this up?
Yeah, let's tie it up.
Bassman, I want you to give us what was the dopest fucking part about Slam Dunk? Like,
I've got another question after
Who'd you
this.
meet? Well,
I know
you
we're
could
trying
save
to tie
that-
it up,
You
but
could say
fuck
that
you.
for off air, Stu.
No.
Nope.
I won't.
Nope. Bassman, what was
going
the
to.
fucking coolest part about Slam Dunk? Like, hanging out with fucking people. Was it meeting people? Was it playing to the crowd? Give us the example. What was the best?
The best, probably that story I told before. Like, going in with little to no expectation, feeling like you didn't want to be there, and then
Did you not want to be there?
I mean, feeling like you didn't
deserve.
belong there.
Didn't
Sorry,
deserve.
I did want to be there. 100% did want to be there. I did, I promise. And then seeing the fruits of your labor, like, we've worked hard. Like, we haven't been in a band for that long, but like, before that, all of us had been in bands for years,
Yep.
except Jake. But he's young, so that's fine. Yep. Like, we've been in a band for 3 years, but before that, all of us have been doing music for at least 3 to 5 years in bands. And being able to walk out, and then our power gets cut in the set, and us going, what the fuck's happening? And then the crowd singing the song out, and we're just on stage going, how?
Like, one, they know our words.
First, how? Thank you. Why?
You guys know there's other bands
And
playing.
how do I deserve this?
Yeah.
Like, just singing that in that whole moment, just going, like, the show's happening, and then at the end you're just like,
Well, I
that
can tell
actually
you.
happened. And then watching the videos back on, that actually happened. Like,
I can tell you
that
how you
was-
deserved it because you guys have worked hard.
Yeah.
Like, but your whole life,
Yeah.
not even just in the band, everything leads up to that point. And I think anyone that gets that deserves it to an extent. And like, you know, especially if you've put in the hard work and you try and you care. Like, a lot of people don't care. The people that care, I think, deserve it even more. So that's how. I have one more question.
go on.
What's the best tour memory ever?
Ever?
Yeah, well,
Come
this is a
on.
touring podcast. We can all do one.
I got too many. Can
It'll only take a couple of minutes.
you guys start?
I can go. Tour. For me, it was fucking Brobart. Or
the church.
The
story?
whole Tasmania, like that whole
Yeah.
thing was we had a crew
What
with
about
us.
you fucking-
It was Seth Century, Remy, us.
What? Seth Century.
Yeah, and we brought an entourage with us.
Is this guy famous?
Yeah.
And it was the first night. I just remember from rolling in, and we were like, "Fuck, we had no weed. Let's find someone to get high." And we'd found someone who would listen to our shit. Like he had actually was a fan of Otis High. They're from Tassie, driven up to the show. We're like, "Sweet." Just remember it getting to like 4 a.m, us being on the roof of the hotel. Like we climb out the window. We're just fucking
Wait, where did
smoking.
you play? Did you play the Brisbane?
No, and it was at Club 56 or something, or yeah,
know that place. I know
Yeah,
that
there,
place.
and then at the Tasmanian Uni the next night.
Oh, that's in Launceston. 54.
Yeah. Yes.
I played there.
Yeah, sick. So sick. And then they've got the accommodation attached to it. So we were in that hotel, and then just meeting random people, dudes from Tasmania who actually listen to your tunes. And we were he ended up on the roof of the hotel smoking joints with them till all hours, and it was just those moments where you're like, fuck, man, this is sick. This is just
Surely
so sick.
you winning the Christian music award was another one of your best.
Did you
That's
tell
a
the,
good one.
please tell me that you told the story of the church at that acceptance speech?
That would have been.
That would have been
amazing.
really funny.
Mine would have to be that playbook tour. Like I've got amazing memories from most of the tours. That one that we went to Sydney that you played guitar in.
Oh,
That was fucking hilarious
That was a
because
funny
like we
show.
just got so shit faced on the drive up to. I was blind. We were drinking out of wine bottles. That was hilarious. But that tour that we had with the playbook that you were party manager.
Party
that was
manager's
the
a great
best.
term.
And that
Yeah, that
party
was
to
good
cap it off, I think that even though I don't remember much from that party, to cap off a tour,
I remember.
it was just just playing with the sickest bands. Like,
Yeah, your weight.
man, you're waiting
Go Away,
gold,
the
drive
Drive
home,
Home.
and satellites.
So,
Like,
yeah.
just what a fun way to spend 3 weeks.
I've heard about this fucking
Unbelievable.
wrap-up party so many times.
It was a good one.
Fucking wish
Oh,
I was
man.
there.
There's
Anyway.
There's some funny photos. I remember you playing Swing Life Away. Like, and that was
Oh,
the last
that's a
memory.
big
Actually, the
track.
last memory I,
I
have
don't
of that-
remember actually being.
That's a
I don't
big
know
track.
how I
The
knew how
last
to play
memory
that
I remember
song.
of that party is Mitch Robinson found a fucking bow and arrow somewhere in the house, and then he was going to shoot his
Remember
brother.
the
Remember?
Robinson
He was
brothers-
gonna- they
the
were fight-
Robinson
They just kept
brothers.
wrestling because
Yeah,
the
they
guys
were
from Sydney had to
fighting.
leave, but like they wrestle for fun. Like it sounds like they're having the
yeah.
biggest argument, but they're just
Okay.
bored.
Yeah, yeah.
But,
yeah.
but
And they just
they're
wrestle.
violent wrestling
Yeah.
though. Like they're throwing each other into couches and
It's
shit.
great
like-
entertainment though.
yeah,
it
yeah.
was
I've been
fucking
at
rugby
house
boys.
parties where that
The rugby
happens. Yeah,
boys.
yeah.
I got a few, I think. One
As he
was
settles in.
that tour. The first tour we actually did was memorable for me because it was when I
Spin
was
Set
like,
one?
yeah, when we went to Sydney.
Yeah, that was good. That was cool.
that
was cool.
I feel like
But that was
'cause
after
we
no,
booked
wasn't
that.
after Playbook.
like I booked the show for that somehow,
Mm.
and then we got to go to Sydney and play to people, and then the next day the show got canned because someone was skating in the venue before,
That
and then they damaged something, and then we threw this makeshift show together, which was shit.
It was
but
so
It
bad.
was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like made friends from it. A girl that I met at that was managing us for a little bit, like
managing between you and me.
between
yeah.
you and me for a
There
little bit,
you
which
go.
is great. Like that connection, so they were still friends, which is awesome. Another one, I remember the first big tour between you and me got,
Yep.
and we're in Sydney with WithCon, and I was just watching WithCon, and then I looked at the boys, and I was just like I was never supposed to be part of this plan. Like this isn't my band. Like I just am lucky to be here. Like, and that has been like every other Between You and Me tour. Every time we like, there's a big show or like I'm a little bit drunk or a little bit other things.
Faded.
Just
Yeah.
just like embracing that. One of the funniest times on tour was in the US last year. We were in Boston, I think, somewhere at some Anytime Fitness parked outside with our RV because we used to like use Jamie's gym pass to go to Anytime Fitness and have showers.
Can you go
Oh.
worldwide?
Worldwide, baby.
No shit.
Yeah,
No
worldwide.
Yo, that is a
We're not
life
even-
hack.
We're not even from there. So
If you take anything from this podcast,
Bad.
we're not even
hack.
from there. So really, how are they going to find out 5 people use one pass? Anyway,
totally.
we were in the car park and we had that sound guy Dan.
Yeah.
He came with us in the RV because like he was like sick of being in the van and we had heaps of room. So like,
Yep.
and then we had all these leftover fireworks from Texas, and we didn't check if they were illegal in Boston or whatever. So we get out of the van and we like, let's just get rid of them all and it'll be done with, and we don't have to deal with this shit anymore. Because we had like we spent like 150 US on fireworks when we got to Texas, and we didn't use them except the massive one that we bought. So we're in this car park. It's wet. We're
I've seen the video of
all
this.
running around barefoot, and we have those sticks that shoot out balls, and we're just running around shooting each other with these. And then we just see these massive bright lights come up, and we're just like, fuck, someone's coming. Let's just get back to the van, just put everything down, just pretend like we're having a beer outside. Like, surely it should be okay.
it's not
Yeah,
that
there's
big.
smoke anywhere, but
you can drink beers near your van.
That's
right?
the other thing. Your
can't-
open containers
you can't
bigger
have
than
an open
fireworks
container
up there.
outside. Cops get out. Dan is the only American with us. She's like, you guys talk. I am not talking. You guys are Australian. They will more than likely let you off, but just
Him, they won't,
yeah. He's just like, all right. The guy gets out. He's like, boys. He's like, what's going on here? We're just like, nothing. Just having good fun. He's like, do you know fireworks are illegal? And we're like, oh, sorry, we didn't know. And he's like, where are you guys from? We're like, Australia. He's like, can I see your ID? And we like, gave him our ID. He's like, all right. He's like, fireworks are illegal in Boston, so I'm going to let you off. Like, he's like, just pack it all up and get inside. You can't drink outside either. We're like, oh, dude, we're so sorry. We didn't know. Sheriff pulls up. She gets out, and she's just like, Tuesday night drinking beers and shooting fireworks, huh? Sounds like my kind of Tuesday night. We're just like, oh, man. She's just like, where are you guys from? We're like, Australia. She's like, oh, I've never met Australians before. This is sick. And we all got a photo with the cops.
That's so
And
funny.
then
awesome.
we're just like, this is crazy. And then we get inside, and Dan, the town goes like, that is the fucking luckiest thing I've ever seen. You guys are so lucky. And that time, like just thinking about that time and like being in Boston so far from home and with the boys and a dude that we just met like 2 weeks
Yeah.
before who does sound. It
Sums up tour.
Yeah, it was
The,
a crazy
the
experience.
best things about tour, yep.
It's like not getting away. Like we were just like, we're probably going to cop a fine or something. Like for sure, we're shooting fireworks.
yeah.
Like, but like
But getting away scot
not
free.
even the fact that he let us off, just like the whole thing. I remember asking him if he would tase me, and he's just like, "You don't want that." I was like, "All right, maybe not on wet ground. I'll probably die." Like, yeah, that was just
That's
like
so good.
acknowledging that you're like this isn't a normal thing.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
knowing all the time that this isn't a normal thing and how lucky you are, because at any point, like people can stop listening.
Yeah.
People can stop caring. So
Bad. 100%.
getting to do that,
Nice.
touring is a blessing.
Touring, definitely. Even wrapping up, man. Thanks for being here, Bass Man.
Thank you for
having me.
One of the things I took away is exactly what you were just saying, man. Like it's great to see someone appreciate like those little things when I guess a lot of people when they get to the next level they take it for granted. But it's definitely super fucking good to hear you having these experiences like we all have, just going, fuck, man. How much of a
You can do
blessing
it.
is this to be here and just enjoying those little moments and not taking it for granted?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if like to sum up as well, if you work hard and put in the hours and yeah, you're gonna have to sacrifice things, but if you want that life, and you can do it, you can absolutely do it. And you know, it takes time and it's hard work and takes a long time to get to. Obviously, like you said, having the product it helps, which you guys have. I love your band, and you guys are awesome live and shit. But you know, hard work will get you there and a good attitude. So. Yeah, but thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks
if you
for
need help
popping in.
booking shows and touring, just reach out. Like people are always willing to help. If you want help,
100%.
these guys
and
can help. I can help. Whatever.
Yep.
Twitter,
Between You and
Instagram, all
Me's
the
new
shit.
single, Famous,
Famous,
is
yeah,
out now.
it's a big track.
is.
It is a big track with a big
Bukowski's
video
new
clip.
single "Till I'm Dead," which
Recorded
I
here.
mixed.
Oh yeah,
recorded
that was
here.
recorded here.
But both are bangers.
Yep,
Big songs.
I enjoy both.
awesome.
Thanks,
Bass Man,
Bassman.
thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me, boys.
Bye.